All right. So this is the first video to walk through this app, this drone app that we're building. The point of the drone app is to take user uploaded drone images and extract the metadata out of those drone images, figure out the real spatial extent of the job that was covered by the drone, and then to download uh, nape imagery from the Kentucky Geo portal to make a map of the droned area. Now, usually we would use Google Maps for this, but recently uh, they started like charging, or you have to put your credit card and stuff on there, and I just didn't want to do all that. So I'll walk through each section here and explain what's going on. So the user will upload some images and they'll end up in some directory that'll be this path route here. And we'll just simply run a tool in that directory that'll return the list of drone images. And then we will feed that list of images into this read EXIF tool that will extract all the metadata out of the drone images and return them in a table for us that we'll write out as this EXIF data table here. This list is all the attributes that are returned. A lot of them are static and meaning they never change, they're sensor specific or whatever. And obviously the others, latitude, longitude, speed, that kind of stuff will vary as you know by the image. So so then now we'll use that metadata here to simply figure out the spatial extent of uh, of the drone images. And all we're doing is just taking the max and min of the x and y values and just using that to draw a box. And then we'll draw a slightly larger box, 2 standard deviations larger, uh, to to have like a larger mapped area. So here we return an image that shows just that. The smaller extent here is the extent of the drone images, and this larger one is what we'll use to map to. And then for the website guys here, these few lines just drop this image here back in a directory that can be so it can be handed back to the user through your website. So the one thing that I probably should have included in the video is we're using a shapefile that is an index of the nape imagery for Kentucky. The Kentucky Geo portal made this and we downloaded it as a shapefile. So we'll simply open that shapefile up and simply transform it to match our lat long stuff that we're doing. So that smaller extent, all we're going to do is use that here to crop out the intersecting part of the index. So you see here, this matches that index, and you can see it requires pieces of 4 different tiles from that nape imagery. So these few lines here, this little loop and check thing, uh, it's checking my machine, and since I already have them, it just returns a message that says they're there. And in your case, it would have just started downloading them real quick, unzipping and putting them in a directory. And now here we can look at that list. So there's the 4 areas here, and it downloaded one full size JPEG for each of those areas. And all we're going to want to do here now is open them up and uh, merge them all together. So basically just taking the 4 images, sticking them together to make one larger image. Uh, and that may take just a few seconds to run. And then while we're waiting on that, these next few lines here simply change the projection because all the work we do, we just always have to constantly stay in the same spatial projection. And our shapefile is different than our drone images, so we just have to keep jumping back and forth. And ultimately, then what we're going to do is the 4 map images that are stuck together, we're just going to crop them just to fit the extent that we care about from earlier. and then reproject that, and that'll be written out then as a TIFF that we'll use in this plot. Then we'll return that plot to the user. Still running. Yeah, it's taking a little while. Taking a really long time. Can I pause the video? No, there's no pause. All right, well there it is. So there's the full image. Sorry that took a long time. So as I said here, we'll just change the projections out, then we crop it, and now here's the that larger extent that we had. We'll simply reproject that. That too takes just a second. Changes very little visually. Then we write that out to that same directory. And now what we can do is we'll start to plot out this map and then plot the points on top of it. So then here's the real map, and then there's the points that you can see on top. Uh, and then we'll spit all that out into that same directory, and that's how long it took the whole thing to run. Uh, so so that's it. We'll end here, and then we'll pick up with part two that will actually start to well, you'll see.